I want to thank all of my replay viewers. Thank you for being here, and would love for you to share me out. My name is Caren Glasser, and today we're doing 5 tips in 5 minutes. Hello, Roberto. Good to see you. Who else do we have coming in? Hi there, ABW Networking. How you doing, guys? Great to see you here today. I'd love to have you share me out. If you're on an iPhone, what you're going to do is you're going to swipe to the side. Love those hearts. And then share it. If you're on an Android, you're going to swipe down so that those people can listen too. And I love those hearts, so bring them on, bring them on. And if you're watching a replay of this, same thing. Great. Thanks for inviting the followers. Today we are going to be doing 5 tips in 5 minutes. That's why it's called 5 for 5. And today we're going to be talking about getting the 5 tips on getting found on YouTube, to get your YouTube videos found on YouTube. So you put all this effort in, you create these videos. How do you make sure that they get found? Hi, Mark. Good to see you. Good to see you. Alrighty. So here's tip number 1. Tip number 1. You want to make sure that you write a interesting and descriptive title. So 1 or 2 words is not going to cut it. You want to make sure your title has some keywords in it that are searchable, because remember, things show up in Google when people are searching for them. So when you put in a search engine, things like I like cake or how do I make cake, then any video that's out there, or any blog post, or any digital content out there will show up in your search, of course. But video shows up first, so you want to make sure that you put a very descriptive title. Instead of writing like soccer as a title, you might want to write something like this: playing soccer at Garden Square Stadium. Because then you're giving people a little bit more information. And one other tip about the title: capitalize the first letter of each word in your title. It makes it much easier to see. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, you're now going to write a descriptive description. That's hard to say, a descriptive description. It doesn't need to be very long. It can be 1 or 2 paragraphs. And you want to make sure that your keywords, okay, so your keywords that you used in the title, you want to make sure you put in the description as well. Okay? Because again, Google doesn't like when you're trying to scam the system. So if you put a word in the title and it's not really in your article or on your video, and you put a keyword in your description and it's not there, Google's going to say, they don't like that, and you could get banned. Okay, so tip number 3. You want to then, next step is to put those keywords as tags in the video. So when you upload a video to YouTube, or when you create a video in YouTube, at the bottom of it, when you're optimizing it, there is a place to put tags. And those are another way to say keywords. And you're going to separate those keywords with spaces or a comma. So you're going to put these words in. And if you're going to do groups of words, like a phrase, sometimes YouTube says, go ahead and put parentheses around that phrase so that it now looks like it's one keyword. I haven't had that challenge, but some people do say that you should be doing that. So make sure you do that. And by the way, I completely forgot to give you something in tip number 2 in terms of the description. Don't forget to put your call to action in there, and we'll talk a little bit about that more in just a second. So far we've got an interesting and descriptive title. You need to have at least, 4 or 5 words. Number 2, you want to make a descriptive description and a call to action within that description area on your video, and make sure you have some keywords there. And 3, add keywords and into the tag section down below. So if you're doing let's go back to the soccer example. If you're doing a video on soccer, soccer would be a keyword. Hey, hi Lauren, welcome from Seattle, Washington. Great to see you. So you want to make sure that you have created something that is searchable. We're losing connections. Okay, well, I'm going to keep on going because this whole thing is being recorded, as you know. Number 4, custom image and a playlist. Now, this is important because you want to really brand yourself. So one of the things they allow you to do when you are customizing and optimizing your video is a place to put a customized image. Sometimes when you upload a video or when you do a Google Hangout, kind of odd going on, you will get your face and however it froze. So you might be looking like this. Or like this. So instead of having those weird pictures, what I suggest is you upload a custom image. And it can be a custom image that you've created maybe in Canva. We talked about Canva last week, or actually a couple weeks ago. Or you can, maybe it's your logo. Upload it in there, and now every time somebody gets your video, that custom image is going to be on the front. And why not put it in a playlist? One of the things that I encourage people to do when they're creating videos, I love those hearts, keep them coming. One of the things that I encourage people to do when they're creating videos, think about those 10 questions that people ask you about what you do. So if people say, well, what do you do for a living? I'm sure you can come up with 10 questions. Why don't you go record 10 different videos, put them all into one playlist, and now when people ask you, you can take that playlist and share that playlist out so that now all of your answers, you're actually saving yourself some time. You're working smarter, not harder. And finally, the last tip is get subscribers. And some of you may be rolling your eyes when I say that. Well, isn't that the point? You're supposed to get subscribers and likes. Well, you know what? The easiest way to do that is to ask for it. So at the end of your video, when you're doing these videos, you can say, or you can put a card, an ending piece, an outro that says, if you like these videos and you want to see more, please subscribe to my video. And you can take your finger and point down, because that's where the subscription link is. You can put one of these neat cards that they now have with the YouTube videos and put them right on to your video. So again, you're asking them to do something for you. You're giving them a call to action to do something. So let's go over those tips one more time, and I have a special gift for everyone that's on this broadcast today. Number 1, you want to write an interesting title. Number 2, you want to make sure you write an interesting and descriptive description in the description and a call to action, ACTA. Number 3, you want to add keywords to your tag area. And number 4, you want to make sure that you have custom image and putting it into a playlist. And last but not least, probably the most important, ask people to subscribe, ask people to like your videos, and ask them to share. Now, I have a special gift for everybody. I'm going to be uploading this Periscope over at sparkitnetwork.com/Periscope. And I have a checklist that has not just 5 tips, but 10 tips on how to get more views for your YouTube videos. So please go over to sparkitnetwork.com/Periscope for all sorts of free resources so that you can now use YouTube to get more visibility online. Thank you all for being here today. Please share this out. Love you guys. See you next week on 545. Have a great day, everyone.